Well, you have a solution which I am impressed with. Would you like to give us a brief overview so people can grasp what it's all about?
Yes, my plan is for unemployed youth, particularly and initially, to be engaged in military training for a year. And looking at a pilot program perhaps of 5,000, there are 77,000 unemployed youth or unemployed in the youth cohort who are unemployed at the moment. But my program initially would be a pilot program, 5,000 unemployed youth over the 6 states of Australia. Probably would require 500 instructors, about 10% as instructors. These could come from the Armed Forces Reserve and also from retired regular Armed Forces personnel, perhaps from retired teachers. In other words, there would not need to be an impost or a burden placed on the regular ADF. And at the moment, the regular ADF is undermanned, which is something I'll talk about shortly, and also no doubt overstretched. And so,
but this is not national service, is it?
This is definitely not national service.
This is an option.
It's an option.
It's like the man who spoke to you. He said you don't have to work, and I don't have to give you the dough.
That's exactly the, if you like, the foundation of this, and I'll talk about that shortly. But salaries, I've had a quick look at the salaries, and I would estimate that this pilot program, this first year of 5,000 trainees, would cost around possibly $100 million, which is small change for our hitherto profligate governments.
What does an NCO earn, roughly?
Well, it's probably $50,000, $70,000, $80,000. It depends on their rank. It depends on how long they've served in the military. And in fact, probably more than that. But the average daily pay for an officer is $225. And I make the point that the daily allowance paid to politicians who go to Canberra above and beyond their salary is nearly $300 a day. So they have an allowance which far exceeds the average salary, daily salary for an officer.
So those VCs who went to London. Those VCs who went to London, who were mainly NCOs, they were lower rank. They had low ranks, but they won the Victoria Cross, and they went to London to the Queen's funeral. They would have been earning 50,000 probably, or some 70,000, but compared with a politician who's earning a couple of 100,000.
Well, 211,000, I think, is the base salary for a federal politician. Yes.
And you get more if you chair a committee.
Indeed. There are certainly many allowances.
The onerous job of chairing a committee attracts a lot more money.
Very important.
But your program is your program is not national service. It is an option, and these people will be told they're on the dole. And we have a situation in Australia at the moment. There's about a need for 500,000 people in employment. There's a desperate need for employment on the farms and in the restaurants and cafes, all sorts of jobs. These are not highly skilled jobs, but they need these workers in these positions. We have all these people who are quite capable of working. They're at least the same number, many more, because there seem to be all sorts of programs the government offers under different names to people who don't want to work. And we have this situation where we have this vast number of people who don't want to work. They're being paid by the taxpayer. They're having a life of leisure. We even have intergenerational unemployment, I'm told. And from people I've spoken to who were involved in programs to teach the unemployed to gain employment, the opinion I've had from people who've been in that is that most don't really want to work.